Imagine a game that looks like a meme but plays like a masterpiece. That's exactly what's happening with Escape from Duckov, the duck-themed parody of Escape from Tarkov that's taken Steam by storm. Over 1 million players have already joined the chaos within its first week. And no, that's not a typo. It's a shooter where you play as a duck, scavenging through war-torn landscapes, dodging wolves, looting gear, and trying to survive long enough to make it out alive. Sounds ridiculous? Maybe. But beneath the cartoon feathers and absurd humor lies one of the smartest, most addictive survival games of the year. This isn't just another parody game for laughs. Duckov is the kind of surprise hit that redefines what indie gaming can do when creativity meets clever design. Developed by a small 5-person team called Team Soda under China's Bilibili, Escape from Duckov began as a personal side project from a die-hard Tarkov fan. What started as a tongue-in-cheek experiment soon evolved into a full-fledged, single-player experience that captures the essence of hardcore extraction shooters, without the frustration of toxic PvP. Released on October 16, 2025, the game immediately caught fire. According to SteamDB, it sold over 1 million copies in just 1 week and hit a staggering 260,000 concurrent players on October 24th, surpassing heavyweights like Rust and Delta Force. Even more impressive, it's sitting at a 96% positive rating from more than 15,000 reviews. For a niche survival title starring ducks, that's unreal. Players describe it as funny, emotional, and surprisingly deep. A game that lures you in with jokes, but keeps you hooked with tension and satisfying progression. So what exactly makes Escape from Duckov so special? It's not just the memes or the bright, cartoonish visuals. It's the feeling it gives you. At its core, it's a single-player extraction shooter, meaning every mission is a gamble. You enter a hostile zone filled with enemies, scavenge for loot, and must extract safely before dying. If you die, you lose everything you were carrying. That risk creates a pulse-pounding tension in every moment. Whether you're sneaking past wolves or looting an abandoned barn. Yet unlike Tarkov, Duckov makes failure bearable. It's slower, more deliberate, and offers a smoother curve for new players. There's even base building and crafting, giving you a reason to keep going after every loss. It's funny, yes, but also strangely emotional. Each duck's survival feels personal. Every escape, a tiny victory in a world that doesn't care if you make it out alive. Players start as an ordinary duck living in an underground bunker, guided by a quirky companion named Jeff, who acts as your mission handler and comic relief. From there, you explore 5 massive open maps filled with danger, from scavenger birds to wild animals and even rogue ducks gone mad. Every run tells its own story. Sometimes you'll die 10 minutes in from starvation. Other times you'll scrape through a brutal night raid with just enough loot to upgrade your shelter. And that's the beauty of Duckov. It takes the punishing gameplay of Tarkov, but wraps it in charm and personality. The maps are beautifully designed, with moody lighting and eerie soundscapes that make even a cartoon world feel alive. You might laugh at first. It's ducks with guns after all. But soon you'll realize this game hits harder than most serious shooters. And it's not just the gameplay loop that's winning people over. It's how Escape from Duckov rewards smart thinking. Every choice matters. You need to plan your extraction route before fighting, gather blueprints to unlock upgrades, and manage your food and water because survival meters drop fast. Night raids can yield high-value loot, but they're terrifying. Vision is limited, and enemies hit harder. The developers clearly designed it to test patience and strategy rather than luck. You can't just sprint and shoot. You have to think like a survivor. Sell scrap instead of hoarding it. Invest in base improvements. and know when to cut your losses. That mix of challenge and humor is what makes players addicted. Even when you fail, you're already planning the next run, tweaking your strategy, determined to do better. It's brutally fair, and that's why fans respect it. Critics are already calling Escape from Duckov one of the biggest surprises of the year, and they're not exaggerating. With a Metascore of 77 and a user score of 8.7, the game has managed to charm both hardcore players and newcomers alike. Reviewers praise its pacing, its clean progression system, and the way it balances parody with genuine survival tension. Sites like Game8 called it one hell of a fun extraction shooter that scratches the itch for the genre in an easy-to-digest package. While Movies, Games, and Tech described it as a grind and a challenge with crafting, looting, questing, and cute ducks in equal measure. The beauty of it all? Duckov doesn't just joke about Tarkov. It understands what makes Tarkov so special and translates that feeling into something approachable, quirky, and deeply fun. It's proof that parody, when done right, can elevate rather than mock. The most fascinating thing about Escape from Duckov is how it blurs the line between humor and depth. What starts off as a goofy idea, a duck scavenging for loot, turns into something strangely profound. Every raid feels like a mini drama about survival, loss, and perseverance. You feel the sting of failure when you lose your best gear, but the satisfaction of rebuilding is what keeps you hooked. And while it's wrapped in bright, cartoonish visuals, the core gameplay is as intense as any serious survival title out there. Team Soda didn't just parody Tarkov, they paid tribute to it, reimagining it for people who want the thrill without the frustration. It's a love letter to extraction shooters and an invitation to everyone who ever thought Tarkov was too much. Duckov gives you that same rush, just with feathers and a grin. And as the credits roll on Escape from Duckov, it's clear that Team Soda has pulled off something remarkable. What began as a quirky side project by a handful of passionate developers has become a global hit, selling over 1 million copies and uniting players who never thought they'd enjoy this kind of game. It's smart, it's self-aware, and most importantly, it's fun. In a gaming landscape crowded with live service chaos and endless microtransactions, Duckov feels refreshingly pure, a full offline experience that respects your time and creativity. Whether you're scavenging through dark forests or laughing at the absurdity of ducks in tactical gear, there's a strange sense of peace in its madness. And maybe that's why it works, because beneath the jokes and feathers, Escape from Duckov reminds us why we play games in the first place: to explore, to struggle, and to find joy in the chaos.